You are now listening to The Box Out with Kahlil Thomas and Jason Courtney on the One Podcast Network. Let's get it.
From NJ to BK, the world is The Box Out here on the One Podcast Network. My name is Kahlil Thomas. Joining me in a few minutes will be Jason Courtney from Brooklyn, New York. Thank you so much for watching, whether it be live right now or on the replay whenever you check our show out. Thank you so much for checking us out. Real quick before we start, hit us up. Live Free and Laugh Hard, armchairing us, other shows. We're doing some big things, so please keep us in mind for your video podcasting sensibilities, if you will. Opening tip tonight is we're getting close, folks. We're getting close to the Giannis situation ending. Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's I can never pronounce his name. I've sworn to not try to pronounce his name on this podcast like 5 years ago. But the Giannis scenario is almost over. I think we're getting to that point where he's going to get traded. Now, the destination is kind of out there. We don't know who's looking, although we have some reports of Miami, the Knicks, Golden State sniffing around. So we know it's going to happen. We know it's a matter of time for Giannis leaves Milwaukee and is with the new team. The trade deadline is coming up. I think the trade deadline is next week. So we're looking at a week out from the trade deadline, which we'll be here for. Recapping all the stories from trade deadline on Thursday next week. But, as a Knicks fan, you kind of look at the possibility of getting honest, and it makes you salivate, get your mouth all moist. Like, we might get Giannis. That'd be kind of cool. But here's a problem for the Knicks in getting honest. You're already at the apron, the first apron. Meaning you can't take it any more money. You got to have, when the money come in, the money's also got to go out. You don't have a lot of draft capital to work from. Unlike other teams might have multiple years. You have a pick swap with Washington. You have your own pick, which is not going to be a great pick. You traded all your draft capital to get Mikal Bridges. So essentially, you hitched your wagon to Bridges last season. So that kind of gives you we don't have a lot to trade. So ESPN had a really cool article kind of going over the 11 teams with the most to offer. The Knicks are in that conversation, but I want to go over a couple of things that the Knicks do have that they can put out and see what they can do. So regarding draft assets, they have pick swaps, 26, 2030, and 2032. And they have the 2026 first round pick from the Wizards, which is top 8 protected. Meaning if the pick falls to the top 8, the Knicks do not get that pick, and they convert to 26, 27 second round picks. So that's the risk you run. You run that risk. If you're Milwaukee, you have to hope that the Wizards pick does not fall in the top 8 to get a first round pick. If not, you're getting 2 second round picks in 26, 27. Now, on to the contracts. Mikal Bridges, he has a player option 2029. I don't think the Knicks trade Bridges because they gave up so much to get Bridges. So it makes no sense to trade Mikal Bridges when he gave up 5 first-round draft picks for him. So that's one. You have upcoming free agents, Mitchell Robinson, Yabusele, Shamet, Clarkson, Mohamed Diarra, who I think the Knicks are trying to figure out who he is and what he can do. And Haporti, who is a bench player. Brunson he's untouchable. You have Malcolm Didi, who they drafted 2 years ago. He's a free agent, rookie scale. The notable players that ESPN point out is Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Deuce McBride. And then OG and Brunson's not in the conversation, but for this conversation, there are trade kickers for OG and for Jalen Brunson. So off the top, let's dump Jalen Brunson out of the conversation. I think the three untouchable guys, I think I might have said this last week on our show too. Hart, Brunson, Bridges are probably your three untouchables that you don't want to give up. The Villanova connection. Brunson's your star. You can't give him up. He's your captain. I think Hart needs to stay with the team because Hart brings something to the team. Hart is at heart, for lack of a better term, of that team. He's the heartbeat of that team. Bridges is only untouchable because you gave up so much to get him. And it becomes an issue in trading for Bridges, giving up all your draft capital for the next God knows how long, only to trade away a year after you did all that. So I think that's what makes Bridges kind of like the untouchable along with Hart and along with Brunson. It seems as if the only way you get Giannis is if you trade Karl-Anthony Towns and or OG, which you probably don't want to do. As I bring in Jason Corner from Brooklyn, New York. What's going on, bro? Oh, do you hear me? Oh, I can see.
Now I can hear you.
Oh, there we go.
I couldn't see you.
Well, it's funny because my webcam wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
My Mac, I brought a Mac over Christmas, so I upgraded my equipment here. I brought a Mac. I get the desktop Mac.
Okay.
The Apple camera. I'm like, oh shit, this is nice. Someone's looking at it. I'm like, oh shit. But then like shit wasn't working, and I'm like, all right, this shit ain't working.
Right.
So talking about the Knicks, the Giannis sweepstakes. ESPN had a really cool article kind of going over the teams that could make the deal.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Knicks path is a little more difficult because the draft capital isn't there, which I think Milwaukee would want.
All right.
I mentioned Mitch, Yabusele, Shamet, Clarkson, Diarra, and Haporti as possible pieces. Brunson's untouchable. I said Brunson, Hart, and Bridges are untouchable.
So you're saying the Nova Knicks are untouchable?
I think you keep Brunson on. He's your captain. You can't get rid of him.
Yeah, you got to keep Brunson.
Hart is the heartbeat. Hart is the heart of the team.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like Bridges is only untouchable because you gave up so much to get him.
Agree.
And I think you can't trade 5 first-round picks and then trade him the year after you did that. That makes no sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like those three are untouchable. It looks like it's going to be Cat or it's going to be OG that's got to go. So, and then you have Deuce McBride, who's kind of out there, unrestricted free agent 2027, only $4 million. OG has a trade kicker to go with him too. So I think that makes it almost like you really don't want to trade OG because you don't want to do that trade kicker. But it seems like based on this article and based on what the numbers look like when you do like a trade, the trade generator, it's Giannis. You have to include his brother. Unfortunately, and it's got to be Giannis and his brother for Cat, Deuce, and you would have to do some pick swaps and that first round draft pick, which is risky for Milwaukee because if the pick is top 8, it shifts into a 2026-27 second round pick. Is that something you would do?
I mean, of course, if I was the Knicks, I'd do it, but I think Milwaukee is going to ship him as far. I think he's gun to my head. I don't know. I see him going to the Warriors. I don't know why, but I see that's where his final destination might land. I don't think they're going to do business with somebody with a contender in the East because the contenders in the East don't have the draft capital. Now, if you would have said Brooklyn, because they have a shit ton of picks, but does Giannis want to swap out Brooklyn from Milwaukee in terms of he's coming to a rebuild, but he is probably going to be in the city he wants to be in, a la like LeBron going to the Lakers. Unless Giannis want to do that, I would say Brooklyn's a dark horse. But I think if you look at the Houstons of the world and the Golden States of the world, and hell, I mean the Lakers are notoriously known for snatching up guys, a la the Los Angeles Dodgers. I think those are the 3 destinations he'll probably end up going. I would be happy to move Cat for him, but I don't think anybody wants Cat right now, especially where his mind is at. We're talking about, I don't know if you've seen the articles coming out talking about him being in trade talks is messing up his flow. I mean, play better.
His flow is already messed up. Let's be honest. Cat's flow has been garbage since Mike Brown came in and trying to instill something in him. He's like, I don't want to hear that, man. It's funny because you hear the post-game press conference with Bridges last night, and he talked about how he was kind of set in his ways, kind of selfish, and he's learned how to be coachable. The fact that he said that Mikal Bridges said that,
yeah,
and then you see him realizing, like, you know what, I gotta do better. I gotta do better. And then you see Cat pouting like a bitch. That just tells me he has to go. You got to get rid of him, and this has to be the deal. You have to say, Milwaukee, we'll give you the picks. We'll do some swaps. We'll give you Cat. We'll give up Deuce. We're not giving OG. We'll give you Deuce. We'll give you Cat. We'll give you the first round pick from Washington. We'll give you our pick, which is not going to be a good pick in general.
Right.
You have to get Cat off the team. I can't make excuses for this man anymore. It is time for him to go.
Woo! So you're ready to send him to Milwaukee.
Because what's the alternative? Keep him on the team? Because I feel like the team is starting to kind of figure it out. I know 4-game winning streak. We talked about this last week. The 4 games they won are games they should have won.
Right. Well, you got to start somewhere.
Exactly. And you still didn't see Happy Cat. I didn't see it.
Right.
So I'm smiling. I saw like, okay, yeah, we won some games. I'm smiling. But you didn't see the Cat. You didn't see like there's still nothing. You look at his eyes. Those are some dead eyes. And I don't need that in my life right now. I don't.
Well, do you think if he's not traded at trade deadline, he can turn it around knowing he's going to be still part of the team?
Nope.
Really?
I'm out. I am out. I am done. So Bruce, what's up, Dad? How you doing? Bruce, cats don't survive in Milwaukee. They stay in here. I've never seen a 6'11", 7-footer just pout and kick his feet. And it's one of those things I'm like, it's like I'm watching high school ball. And a kid, sophomore, had a conversation with a coach buddy of mine in high school whose mom emailed the coach saying, my son's not getting playing time. Like, what?
And he's from the Tri-State area, so you would think he would, be a little bit more,
I love when Cat's engaged, they win. You have to give them a chance. Do I?
You have to. I feel like, better question. Do you think Giannis gets moved by next Thursday? Or do you think it's an off season?
See, that's the thing, because I thought Milwaukee's looking for this blowout offer. Based on all these how you were talking, I'm looking through all these papers I printed out. Like damn Charlie from It's Always Sunny with that wall of shit. I feel like there's only a few teams that could give them what they would want, but not everything they want. So if they're looking for like that one offer is like gonna shock them, you're not gonna get that here. So you got either you take what you can get, you're still gonna get 85, 90 cents on the dollar for them, but you're not gonna get exact value what you want. So I think they have to kind of come to terms with that and go, this is what we're gonna get, and it's good. It's a good package, but this is what we got.
Okay,
I think that's the problem. You said Golden State, and I brought that up too. I was looking through my papers. Jimmy Butler apparently is a necessity in the deal because of the money that he makes.
Right.
Jimmy Butler is out. So if you're Milwaukee, you're trading for an older player who's hurt now, who won't play probably until mid-season next year. But even if you look at their assets for Golden State, they own their first round pick for the next 7 years. They can trade 4 of them. They can do pick swaps for the next 7 years. Seth Curry, Draymond, Kuminga, Jackson Davis, Santos, Post, Horford, Peyton, second, Melton. And then you have Butler, Moses Moody, Buddy Hield. Brandon Podziemski, you might have to throw him in a deal like this because of this the what's the word I'm looking for? I lost my train of thought. Just based on the potential, you might have throw Brandon in there. But of what I just said, are the picks the draw, or are the fact that you can get a Jimmy Butler, you might could steal Moody, and you might be able to steal a Kuminga?
I think it's the picks because how good is that roster going to be with Giannis and Steph together? So it's like the West is competitive, so that pick could be middle of the road. I just think Golden State's going to do whatever they got to do to salvage Steph's latter years, to say. So I think they would offer everybody's available on the table except for Steph and maybe Draymond.
So you mentioned Brooklyn, and Brooklyn came up as the pick team.
Yeah, if you want picks, go to Brooklyn.
10 tradable first, 4 unprotected, 27, 29, and 31 via New York, 2032 via Denver, a 28 top 8 protected pick from Philly, a 28 swap with the Knicks. They also have $50 million in cap space, which you could probably use them to facilitate a 3-team deal, which would kind of alleviate some of the salary issues.
Mm-hmm.
Is Brooklyn a viable option? I know you mentioned before. Are they a viable option? That one of the things where Milwaukee's like, they're there. Let's hold off and see what they offer first.
I think if he doesn't get moved by Thursday, Brooklyn will be a very viable offer because they got the draft capital they want. Because remember the Bucks they don't have their pick until like 30, 31 or 32 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well go holler at the Nets, get as many picks as you want. If Bridges got 5, God knows Giannis is going to get 7 from them.
So they mentioned Atlanta, and I forgot all about Atlanta completely this season. They traded Trae Young, and I'm like, all right, Jalen Johnson. Okay. And I watched him play the other night, and I'm like, there's something there. So Atlanta, and I'm gonna start with the draft assets because I think that's what Milwaukee's looking at, the draft assets more than anything else, I think, because like you said, they don't have any picks.
Mm-hmm.
2026 first round pick, which is more favorable to New Orleans than Milwaukee. A 2027 pick, less favorable. 26 pick swap, a 28 pick swap, and then they have their own first round picks from 29 and 32.
Okay.
Free agents: Porzingis, Kennard, Gui, Riche still a rookie deal, Newell's on a rookie deal, Jalen Johnson's untouchable, Walker Alexander's probably untouchable because I think they're going to build a team around those two.
Mm-hmm.
And Okongwu is under team control until 2028. With the picks and the assets, does Milwaukee sign the strongest team to kind of put something out there?
Definitely sounds strong. And that's the next thing, too. I was arguing with somebody at work today, talking about, Giannis to the West. I was like, I think if the Milwaukee really wants draft capital, I would deal with the East because a lot of these teams, they're a big move away from being a contender again. So I do think Atlanta. I would put Atlanta ahead of Brooklyn only because if you want like a 1 or 2 young players, they can compensate you with that. And because I think Milwaukee's in a good situation where like they just won a championship, so it's not like the fan base is starving for something. They just want, they want a proper rebuild, and I think everybody would be on board with that.
They want a competitive team. They want a team to go out and go watch them at the Forum.
They want the Indiana Pacers. They want the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, just show up and just play the best you can. Just play ball, be good,
and
do what you can. And I think that's gonna be kind of the thing now because I feel like if you're Milwaukee, you have to tear it down. Like you said, the fans wouldn't care because they just got a ring a few years ago. So if you got to break it down, build, and go, okay, we'll give you 3 years to figure it out.
Yeah.
3-4 years. The fans will be okay with it, but you better come in like we traded Giannis, but we got this, 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 we got this. So the fans are like, okay, they did good. What the last thing you want, and as Knicks fans, we know all too well, is to make a trade, and at the end of the trade, the fans go, "That's it. That's all we got." Carmelo Anthony trade, for example, we got Carmelo. Was Chauncey part of the deal too?
Chauncey is part of it, yes.
Right. But we gave up. I'm gonna look that straight up because that was in my head the other day, and I can't remember.
We gave up Mozgov. We gave up a Chandler. We gave up Gallinari. We gave up We gave him the entire second unit.
Hold on, I gotta see this because
Felton. It was pretty bleak.
Knicks receive Carmelo Anthony, Chauncey Billups, Sheldon Williams, Anthony Carter, and Ronaldo Balkman, which we had before he came back.
Mm-hmm.
The Nuggets received, and this is like a 3-team trade, which I completely forgot about. Denver received Wilson Chandler, Raymond Felton, Danilo Gallinari, Mozgov, a 2014 first-round pick, a 2013 and 2013 second-round pick, a 16 pick swap, and $3 million. And the Timberwolves got Eddie Curry, the ghost of the body of Eddie Curry, and Anthony Randolph. So we gave up, essentially, we got Carmelo and Chauncey, and we gave up Chandler, Felton, Gallinari, Mozgov, and a 14 first-round pick, and a 16 pick swap, which I don't want to look at what that turned into.
I don't want to look at that.
That might trigger me. But I don't know. Bruce is
for some reason I thought we gave him way more draft capital, but
I mean the first round pick at 14 and the 16 pick swap.
Bruce is on the same wavelength here. I think he's going to Warriors regardless. I think that's where he's going.
But Butler would have to be part of that deal.
After.
So if you're Milwaukee, what? So you get Jimmy back around this time next year. So January, let's say.
They might try to move him off again.
Yeah. I mean, I see them trying to move him in the offseason, but we know you don't want to be here.
Yeah.
They probably won't buy him out. They'll probably we'll figure it out and how to move you, but get something more for it. But I don't see the logic in trading with Golden State. You're getting damaged goods. You get an older player. Mm-hmm. He's not going to lead your rebuild. So what are you trying to do here? Is it a reload? Is it a reload situation or a rebuild?
It's somewhere in the middle, which never works out.
Never ever works out. WNBA, I feel like the Sparks do it all the time. WNBA, and it never works. They try we're gonna do half young, half vet, and we're gonna mix them, and it never ever works.
Nope.
Ever. Speaking of the Knicks, they won 4 in a row. Hooray! You said it. I agree with you. You beat who's in front of you. It's a start.
It's a start.
This is the fun part. They have Portland tomorrow, which is
they should take care of business.
The Lakers, the Wizards, Denver, Detroit, Boston. So the Lakers, Denver, Detroit, and Boston. 4 of the next 5.
Where is that Detroit game?
The Detroit game is in Detroit.
Okay.
Of those 4 games I mentioned, because I'm going to say the Wizards, they should win. I'm just going to put that out there. Lakers, Denver, Detroit, Boston. Of those 4, how many should they win of the 4? Is it a 2-2 situation, or is it like you got to win 3 or 4 to? Wait, Bruce, that's L.
I think they're gonna ride this winning streak into Detroit. Detroit should have. Is the Detroit game after the All-Star break? I'm sorry. After the trade deadline.
Yes.
I think they go. I think they ride this to Detroit. They probably lose that close game, but it won't get blown out by 30. But I think Detroit's the only L on that schedule.
I'm looking up just to make sure. I'm pretty sure it is, but I would have double checked before I say, "Oh, yeah, it is." Okay. It is.
I think once
February 5th,
once that's all in the past, I think Knicks are clicking on all cylinders right now in terms of all right, they had their team meeting. Everybody seems to know their role. People are they're holding each other accountable. I think they're gonna start peaking again.
Ed, what's going on, buddy? The Knicks need to get Holiday and Giannis to have a real chance to make the finals.
See, I disagree about Holiday because they just beat Holiday last year in the playoffs. Like, he looked very bad against the Knicks squad. So I don't know how much he has left in the tank. I feel like he's like Brogdon, who kind of was like 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and then eventually was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
well, eventually said, "Fuck it, I'm going home."
Yeah.
The Drew Holiday. I was convinced a little bit by a friend of mine who said Holiday defensively can still man guys up. It will also get the ball out of Brunson's hands and not make Brunson have to hold it and create on his own.
True.
But besides the defense and besides getting the ball out of Brunson's hands, I'm not sure how you have two small guards because you're starting Holiday. He's not coming to the bench.
Right.
And then my next question is, what are you giving up to get Drew Holiday? Because if you're getting Giannis, you got to give up the farm to get Giannis. What do you have to give up to get Drew Holiday? That's my other question. That's the only issue I have with Drew Holiday. If you put all your eggs in Giannis, what are you going to have left to get Drew Holiday? And then how much does that deplete your team more?
I would prefer the point guard over in New Orleans. What's his name?
Alvarado.
I would prefer him over Drew because his
I
price,
would too.
The price for him would be a little bit cheaper as well.
I mean, the price for him might be
Clarkson.
Who?
Might be Clarkson.
Maybe Clark. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Clarkson, you might get away with a pick swap. You might get away with a couple pick swaps and a couple second round picks for Alvarado because he's not a star player. He's good, but he's not going to be like, we need OG for Jose Alvarado. Like that's not happening.
That's when you hang up the phone.
Yeah, like nah, you high. You down there eating beignets down there. Eddie also mentions the Blazers want Bridges. I will go back to what I said before. Bridges to me is untouchable only because of what you had to give up to get him.
I mean, if they want him, are they giving him Grant?
Do you want Grant?
Good point. You're right.
Do you want?
I feel like I hate to say this. I think the Knicks starting five is pretty much set. Right now, you're just looking for additional bench support or somebody to come off the bench to give you like a Josh Hart grittiness with maybe an extra 8 points per game.
See, my issue, I don't like Hart starting.
I don't like him starting either.
I've never been a proponent of Josh Hart starting. I think Josh Hart should give you 30 minutes off the bench because you need that. Right now, without him on the bench, you're missing that. You're missing that. I keep saying you're missing that heart, for lack of a better term. I feel like without him, you're missing that bench piece. So I think someone like an Alvarado works perfectly off that bench because you need someone gritty. You need a dog. You don't have a dog on that bench.
Yep.
So I feel like you got to get that. But I feel like because you gave up so much to get Mikal Bridges, you can't move him out now.
Right. You got
to say 5 first-round picks and then a year later, bye-bye. Unless it's, Bridges for like, Jaylen Brown. Then, okay, we got to have a conversation. Now we got to sit and really have a conversation about this. But for me, as a GM, it will take a lot for me to move off of Bridges just because of what was given up to get him.
Yeah.
So much. And Brooklyn's like, we got all these picks now. Who? Anybody want to call us? Like, we're here.
I'm sure Milwaukee's calling. I'm definitely sure Milwaukee's calling.
Hello, Brooklyn. We're here. What's going on? And no one's calling Brooklyn because Sean Marks still knows what the hell he's doing. So with the 4-game winning streak, the Knicks are now second in the conference behind Detroit. You have Boston 3, Toronto 4, Cleveland 5, Philadelphia 6 in your top 6. Your play-in spots are Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, and Chicago. Miami has been talked about as a possible destination for Giannis as well. Besides Tyler Hero, I don't see. Tell me if I'm wrong. Is there anything else on Miami's roster that is worth making a deal like that?
Unless you get Tyler and Bam.
No, Bam's not going. Bam's not going.
Then it's not really worth it. And on top of that, we're talking about Miami. We're talking about Heat culture. They are not going to stand for Giannis bringing the band with him. It worked with LeBron. It ain't going to work for Giannis.
Yeah, bring my brothers with me. Nah, we're good. They can go play.
We're cutting them the second we can.
So I'm looking. I had this on order, and then I started looking through it, and I messed up my order on the papers.
Do you think Giannis would legitimately not want to go to a contender? Like, I think
no, it would have to be a contender. Like that's why the Brooklyn
contender or like a fringe contender, like somebody like you said, like Atlanta, like you inject him into that lineup. They're a top 4 team in the East now. Somewhere, Minnesota. If they could find a package and pair him with Anthony Edwards, I think that might work out as well. I mean, Milwaukee, Minnesota. I mean, besides green and blue, what's the real difference between the cities?
I mean, Minnesota I thought Minnesota, the money would be the problem. because you would have to kind of figure out the salaries, and that's like Naj Reid, Rudy Gobert. I think if you put those two and Dante together, it may not work. The only one making any real money is Rudy and Edwards, and Rudy's not. We know Rudy's not that guy. Rudy ain't that guy. So I think Minnesota's issue is they don't have enough. I don't know what their draft capital situation is, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Minnesota. I think Miami's out. I think Giannis is looking at Atlanta. I think he's looking at Golden State. I think the Knicks become like a serious conversation. Like, I could be in New York. Like, I go from playing in Milwaukee to playing in New York. I think for the first time in a while, people are looking at the Knicks like that now. And it's not a thing that's been common for us since doing this show for damn near forever.
Or a hypothetical not hot take, but maybe what's the chances of Giannis and LeBron next year at the Garden?
No. You
don't want to host LeBron's farewell tour?
No, I'm good. Him fake crying last night was enough for me. I'm good.
Oh, that was a beautiful send-off.
Him getting the Space Jam tears out last night. It was great acting, but I didn't believe a word of it. But listen, the next week, I know we're beyond next Thursday, right after the trade deadline, where we're kind of go over our trades. But I'm getting hyped, man. I'm getting hyped. I'm ready. It's gonna be fun. I'm very excited about the next week. It's trade deadline day and our draft show. Those are the 2 days a year. I'm like,
I kind of agree with Barkley when he said it the other night. I think this has to be a very active trade deadline all around the league because I think it's wide open. I don't think OKC is as strong as everyone we thought at the beginning of the season. So I think the title's up for grab. I think we have legit maybe like 7, 8 contenders.
Thank you, Bruce. I hope never. Eddie, you're right. I don't think Knicks can make the finals with the current roster. I disagree with Bridges.
I disagree.
The Bridges part, I disagree with completely. The Cat part, yes, I completely agree. Cat's a bitch. He needs to go. It's time.
The only difference, I disagree with that because the only difference between the last year's Cleveland Cavaliers and this year's Detroit Pistons is we've seen the Cavs in the playoffs fold. I think Detroit will fold in the playoffs to probably a Knicks or a Boston. But I'm not totally sold unless they upgrade their roster and get another scorer. They cannot rely on Cunningham to do everything for them, and I think that will get exposed in a 7-game series.
And honestly, I think that's going to be the thing. I feel like for Detroit at least, they might be forced to make a deal because they're like, we see Cade killing it, but he needs the help.
Yep.
And there's really no one there to really help. Yeah, there's really cool ancillary pieces, but it's Cade and then a bunch of dudes.
Yep.
Right? It's James Brown and the band. You got to get a Maceo in there somewhere.
It works during the regular season, but we know once it comes playoff time, we've seen how these number 1 seeds fold.
Speaking of Boston, there was a story that Jayson Tatum is considering coming back from his Achilles tendon this season. He's thinking about it. It's nothing set in stone, but he's kind of weighing his options, saying, should I just sit out? Do I come back for the playoffs? Do I come back in March and start to ramp up? Is it worth Jayson Tatum coming back this year? Should he just sit? It's Achilles. Achilles is usually like a 12 to 16 month injury. You're trying to come back within a year. Is it beneficial for him just to sit it out and go, I lost a year, but I can work at a game, I get stronger, come back in October and be ready to go first game of 2026, 2027?
I'm not just because we're Knicks fans, but I think he should really wait and come back. Come back in October.
Really take that time, Jason. Take your time.
Yeah, same thing with Halliburton. All these guys come back. Don't try to come back now and interject and mess up chemistry. This is supposed to be a down year for Boston. They're kind of exceeding expectations. A lot of that has to do because the conference is weak and they do have that championship DNA. So I think he should just, relax, let it play out, and just come back fresh next season. What's the point of coming back now? Like, what's the point
to show that he's tough and got grit and can return to the lineup?
Man, you better relax this summer. Come back in October.
Don't come back.
That goes for Halliburton, Kyrie. You know Kyrie's not coming back at any point this season. Even
Kyrie on an Indian reserve somewhere, just chilling, just like I'll come back. I'm gonna smoke this ayahuasca and just chill. I'll be back next season, guys.
The only reason I think Damian Lillard's come back because he got injured during the season, not during the playoffs last year. So
yeah,
he's on track to come back soon. But yeah, just sit it out, relax,
take your time.
Take your
time. I do want to talk about Bill Simmons had this really cool kind of thought about the parity in the NBA. You just said it.
Mm-hmm.
How it's kind of wide open now. Usually we have a boogeyman every year. We had, Cleveland with LeBron. We had Miami when they all joined forces. And, every so often we have these villains that we kind of like root against because they're taking over. They're going to be good. Golden State was that when they got Durant. Now we're seeing an NBA where any given night you're like, wait, so-and-so beat so-and-so? Like Charlotte looks really good right now, and it's shocking. Is this a good thing, or do fans really want that boogeyman that to root against? Or is this having everybody beat each other and like, you're no better than them, they're no better than them, and it's a free-for-all every night?
I think a little bit of both. I think everybody always looks for that villain, a la baseball has it now with the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
I think look at NFL. I mean, look how quickly we've been doing this show for 9 years, and look how quickly the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl. I mean, I definitely think you definitely need a boogeyman, but the only problem is Jokic is likable. The Thunder are likable.
Mm-hmm.
Durant, Houston, no one believes in them yet. The Knicks are a fun, gritty. The Knicks are like the OKC of the East but they're in a bigger market in terms of being likable. Like, this is the most likable Knicks team ever. So I think,
except Cat.
Except for Cat, I think it's good and bad. But I think what it also showcases, we haven't had a repeat champion since the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
That's also another glaring issue. But in terms of the I just don't see it. I just don't see who could be the next boogeyman unless Giannis forms a super team with one of these contenders. That's it.
Well, I have a nominee for the boogeyman in NBA. The Houston Rockets. Not because they're like super teamed up and like, Udoka's a prick.
Yeah.
They play like pricks. There's a tinge of dirtiness to them. I think fans are like, we don't like Udoka. We don't like they're kind of scummy. I can see Houston being that team that everyone just starts to kind of dislike.
Oh, I forgot the team as well, who was just on the top of my head. The Clippers. The Clippers were like left for dead at 6 and 20 something. And now they're like, I mean, they're still the bottom, like a 10th, but I think they get into playing. They're going to be a tough out for OKC at that 1-8 matchup. I think we're locked in the barrel of that being the 1-8.
Yeah. The Clippers seem unlikable only because their owner's a piece of shit who circumvented the cap and knew about it. I'm just saying.
I mean, just think about that. They got rid of Chris Paul. They exiled him.
I guess. Bruce, 1999 Knicks team likability.
It's all right. It's all right.
I'm looking. So, Rick Brunson, who was not likable, probably now. Back then, I liked Rick Brunson. Now, I'm not a fan of Rick Brunson. Marcus Camby, Chris Childs, definitely not likable. Chris Dudley, Patrick Ewing, Allen Houston, Larry Johnson, Sprewell, Kurt Thomas, John Wallace, Charlie Ward.
That's a very likable team. Very high IQ team outside of Sprewell.
Charlie Ward, just doing great things down in Florida A&M. I think it's Florida A&M.
Florida A&M, yeah, Florida A&M.
Yeah. Latrell, got that thing going. Can't do that. Kurt Thomas is kind of a dog. I like Kurt Thomas. Larry Johnson, mature when he got to us.
Yes.
Allen Houston. Big Pat was still kind of around, but not really doing much. Camby bothers me because I still like Camby because he played for Calipari and love him so much. And thanks Calipari. Thanks Calipari every time he sees him for like getting to the NBA. Even though it was your talent, it wasn't John Calipari. It was you.
He believed in him. He believed in him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can see the competition between the '99 Knicks and this year's Knicks between likability.
Yeah.
Although I do the '94 team for me, I think it's just a sweet spot because of like that was the pinnacle of the Knicks. Like my girl, you and I grew up around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, that was at the pinnacle. That's when we had like we had a Oakley, we had a Ewing, we had Starks, we had Mason. Derek Harper was still around. Oh my God, was that David Wingate? No, David Wingate's on this team. There was another player on that team that I really liked from '94 who didn't get a lot of burn, but when he did, Herb Williams.
Herb Williams, yep.
Herb Williams, my dude. So I don't know. It's an interesting question.
Ironically, to the younger listeners, had Doc Rivers been healthy going in that series, we might have pulled it out in 6.
And here you go. How about the 1973 Knicks? I'm like, Pearl, Bruce. Sorry, I was not an embryo yet. Same here. Same. I know about them. What I want to watch when the Garden was Eden.
That was a very good documentary.
But here's my issue now. Mm-hmm. Michael Rappaport's piece of shit now too. So like, I can't watch that, and I can't watch the Tribe Called Quest doc anymore because I'm like, I hate Michael Rappaport now. So I'm like, 2 of my favorite documentaries I can't watch ever again.
I think he said he might run for mayor.
He said he's running for mayor. There you go. Mayor Rappaport. 2029. Whenever the election is. I don't know. What's happening in your city right now?
I don't know. I'll tell you, man. I got to make room for me in Jersey.
Come on, bro. Bergen County, bro. Let's go. I love it here.
I might petition to bring the Nets with me to Jersey, by the way.
I try to put them, first of all, by the sidebar, I try to put them in NBA 2K and move the Nets. Their creator suite, the logos disappear when you play games. So I picked up the logos. I guess someone made it and made like a model of Continental Airlines Arena. Right. But then when you play, there's nothing in the jerseys. No numbers or nothing. But also, I'm getting rid of that goddamn game because I can't shoot for shit.
Oh,
it is the most frustrating time I have in my life. hitting that damn shot meter, and I can't hit that meter.
Yeah,
I don't get it. They made it so difficult to do anything in that game now. I might just do my GM mode and call it a day. So we have another case in college basketball of a NBA G League player coming back to college. This time, Charles Bediako. He went to Alabama. Former G League player. Alabama's coach, who's a good guy, nice guy. He was at the tournament in the Garden last year. He's defending it. Usual suspects: John Calipari, Tom Izzo. They're against this completely. There is a restraining order against the NCAA to keep him playing. But then the judge in the case was an Alabama donor, and he recused himself today from the case.
Of course he did.
Which means the restraining order is extended as a new judge gets acclimated to the case. How much more of this will we see before the NCAA goes, listen, if you left, you can't come back. I'm sorry. If you got drafted, congrats. If you didn't get drafted and got shoved out to the G League, God bless. Make a team. But once you leave, it's like when, growing up. Once you go outside, you can't come back inside. You're out, you're out. You're in, you're in. When does this happen when the NCAA goes, this is enough, cut the shit?
I don't know. I mean, as long as they're eligible, is there really a problem? I mean, I think this is going to go on as long as it can. I mean, it won't happen in the NFL because I think even like if you get drafted like 3rd, 4th round, you're guaranteed a little bit of money, so you might want to try your luck there. But NBA, you only got two. You only got two rounds.
Mhm.
It makes sense to kind of like keep your pinky toe in the pool just to see what happens. But I think it's only going to make it harder for recruiting.
Yeah,
because you only have so many spots. That's where it becomes problematic, and that's where they're gonna have to come. They got to come up with a common solution.
well, I think Calipari's argument was that there's not going to be any more high school players. Between the transfer portal and having these guys come back, where are high school guys? Where are seniors in high school going to go when they graduate? Like, where are those guys going to hit?
Yeah.
But, and Bruce made a good point. G League's professional. You should have to go back to college. The rule is if you played in the NBA, you can't come back. The G League, according to NCAA, isn't really professional. So that's kind of the loophole, I guess. But once again, you left, right? You went to the NBA. Once you put your name into the draft, your eligibility should end right there. And normally it does.
Well, I think now that it's probably like we're not going to let it end right there, but you have a 60-day, 90-day window.
Yeah, until you put your name in, and then you do the combine, you talk to the draft experts, you go, you're late first. Okay, I'm going back to school. That's usually right after the combine is when guys are, okay, no, as long as you don't hire an agent, you're okay. The second you hire an agent, that's where you're done. This guy hired an agent, got in the draft, didn't get drafted, went to G League, played there for 2 years. Never got brought up to an NBA team. But this keeps happening. Now there's a possible case of a player whose name I can't remember, so I gotta look it up, who's played a couple of games in the NBA, mostly in G League, but played like 2 or 3 games in the NBA, who might try to go back to school. So that case is coming up, and the NCAA is like for forever in court lately. Could we see a case where an NBA player who's not getting no burn, a rookie, says, "Fuck it, I'm going back to college"?
I can see that.
And will a court allow that to happen, or does past practice kind of play a role? Like, well, you decided to leave, you can't go to the NBA, be unhappy with your standing, and then go back.
Yeah.
This whole thing is just getting ridiculous.
It seems like the more and more we look at college now, it seems like it's the minor leagues, and it's not even just like it's not the traditional high school, college. Then you try to go to the pros. Now it's like, good luck trying to get out of high school and try to get into that circus.
I know it's one of those things where it's like there's no right or wrong answer to this. Like paying players, great. There needs to be guidelines for that. Transfer portal, cool. Guys should be able to go where they want. But then if what's his name from Miami? Linebacker. Linebacker from Miami who started at Rutgers, who I'm gonna talk about in a second. He is getting an 8th year of eligibility.
Crazy, super senior.
I'm like, you literally could be a fucking doctor. You've been in college 8. I did 6 and still wasn't completely done with the stuff I wanted to get done. I had a minor and I didn't finish the minor in 6 years. You got 8 at like 2 good schools, essentially. Like, how does this keep happening? But once again, the NCAA wants the chaos because they want to prove a point. And I think they're seeing all this happen and realizing we let this shit go on too long. We kind of got to.
I want to see how much credits he has accumulated. That's what I want to see.
I know. I'm curious. Like 8 years of college, I got 68 credits. Like, have you been going to class, man? What you been doing for 8 years? At least man, Wilder was close when he got to the end.
Right.
Like, he was like three classes short. You're not even close. Real quick, I do want to talk about Rutgers. There's a report from NJ.com, and then I wrote a story about it to piggyback off what they did. Rutgers program lost $78 million last year. Since they joined the Big Ten, they've lost a total, or what I don't say, lost. The deficit is $519 million.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
So $500 million, Dave, that's the deficit. That's the hole they're in since they joined the Big Ten. NJ.com went big into the numbers. They interviewed the AD. My article used their numbers, found some more numbers, seeing how tuition at Rutgers has went up 27% since they joined the Big Ten. And I go back to what I said in my story, and I've been saying for years, Rutgers should not be in the Big Ten. Do you agree?
Oh, 1,000%. I think, and especially even geography wise, Syracuse should be in the Big Ten. Rutgers should be in the ACC. I think that's how it should have played out. But I understand why they went to the Big Ten. But they're bleeding money. They're never going to be competitive in football. Basketball, maybe. But we saw what happened last year where they had 2 of the top 6 picks in the draft, and they still couldn't get to the tournament. So I don't think they'll do it, but I think it'll be more sensitive. Probably would be more profitable if they were in the ACC.
Well, I think they were kind of almost. I think they were kind of tricked into joining the Big Ten.
I think so too.
The Big Ten wanted that New York market. They didn't have that. They went to Rutgers, wine, dine, said, you could join the Big Ten, notoriety, and you went to Ohio State and Michigan's, and you in that conversation with them. But in the end, what have they gotten from the relationship? They haven't got paid yet, which I remember from when they first joined the conference. It was said in 2014 that they wouldn't see their full share of the Big Ten money until 2027. So they had to wait 13 years to get, not next year they get the money. Right. So they're waiting until next summer in July to get their full share of Big Ten money. But in the meantime, they're spending all this money trying to keep up. Ticket sales went down. Their licensing revenue went down. So meaning their brand sucks. No one cares about the Rutgers brand. Ticket sales down, so your students don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And the donations from donors went down because you don't have big money donors in New Jersey. You have Johnson & Johnson. That's it.
You don't have you don't really have a standing point in the city either, in New York City, to really piggyback.
Yeah. Well, even I know SMU joined the ACC last year, and they said 9 years we won't see no money. But SMU's like, we're good. We got oil guys who, remember when we cheated in the 80s? They're still alive. We can actually do this shit. We can do this shit for real now, and it's legal. And they're putting the money in to kind of fill that hole that SMU has, not getting the ACC money. Rutgers don't have oil guys. There's no oil in Jersey. There's
are we sure? We don't know. We do not know what's in that swamp water. We do not know.
Jimmy Hoffa's body. That's what's in the swamp. Jimmy Hoffa. We got oranges and peaches in Jersey. That's what we got. We don't got the oil. And we don't sell enough peaches to generate enough money to get Rutgers out of that damn hole they're in. So it's just one of those things where the Big Ten won it. Oh, there we go. New Jersey, diners and bodegas. That's what we got.
Yeah.
That's what we're good for. Diners not so much because a lot of diners are closing in Jersey. It's kind of sad. A lot of diners I grew up going to was closed. Bodegas all over the place. All over the place. But I feel like they got lured in. The Big Ten really went to the New York market, even though they're in Piscataway, which you've covered Rutgers many a time.
Oh, yeah.
They should be in I don't think the ACC. I think the American. The American is where they should be.
Good point. Good point.
Because I feel like they're not in the level of the ACC for basketball. Forget football for a second. Football, ACC's trash.
Right.
Basketball, they're not close. Football, kind of. But then the Big Ten, basketball, you had 2 good years. You had the COVID year in 2021. 2022, they slid back. But what happens is these colleges have to make these really big risks. And Rutgers did that last year with Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper. And it didn't work. Now they start from scratch again. So I think Rutgers is taking these big swings, paying Greg Schiano all this money to coach football, $46 million in coaching salaries last year.
And no matter what he does, he's not getting fired. No matter what he does.
And most of that is Schiano. Schiano's getting paid a lot of money. They got him the house. He uses the plane. His assistants are getting paid a lot of money. But you also pay out Chris Ash for football. You have to pay Mike Rice some money, even though he was choking players out and throwing basketballs at them and calling them, bad words I'm not going to say here.
All right.
It's one of those things where it's like you got played. I feel like Rutgers got played, and now they're dealing with this consequence of hey, we're here, guys. And I was like, oh, it's Rutgers. Go to back. Go to back with Illinois and I can't say Indiana no more because Indiana's a legitimate program now.
Look at that. Look at that.
So I feel bad for them, but they made this bet.
Yeah.
So God bless them. See what happens. I will probably never be invited back to Rutgers ever again. God bless. Real quick, I'll look at the polls. The AP poll, because coaches poll sucks. Arizona still number 1. UConn, Michigan, Duke, Nebraska is in your top 5. Nebraska just had their first loss to Michigan this week, so they're no longer undefeated.
Yeah.
College basketball is like the NBA. A lot of parity.
Mm-hmm.
There's still, and we say this every week, and I've been watching, I've been looking, I've been trying to figure it out. I still don't have a team that is like they're winning the national championship right now. I have not seen one team. Arizona almost to BYU the other night. They should have lost that game. BYU turned the ball over a lot. Nebraska's lost. I feel like Duke has not played anyone this year.
I agree with that.
Can't trust them. Michigan did beat Nebraska, so now they have one loss. Nebraska has one loss. Michigan, they're starting to kind of get into that, Big Ten schedule. UConn is UConn. Big East is down this year.
Yeah.
So is there a team that you've seen that's like they're going to win the national championship?
I haven't seen any. I definitely seen who I think has a chance. The Dukes, the Michigans of the world. Who beat Michigan? Who was it? It was I did see that game.
It was. I will tell you right now. Was
it Wisconsin? No.
Yes, Wisconsin.
It was Wisconsin. They looked pretty good. So I think it's like you said, parity. Well, now is our time. We're like the NBA when the NFL's done. Like now they could show inside the NBA and have everybody watch these games. Now is where we watch college basketball. So give me about mid-February, and I can tell you who's going to win the whole tourney.
Look at that Michigan schedule. Of course, they beat Rutgers by 41 points. So there you go. Damn. That's my point. My point proven. Rutgers is currently 9-12 overall, 2-8 in conference play, in a conference with 7 teams under 500 in conference. You are 2-8. You stink. Go play South Florida. Anyway, on that note, Jason, great show as always.
Likewise.
So we'll be back next Thursday night for our trade deadline show. Something's bound to happen, Giannis. I think he's going to move next week. Do you?
I think he's going to move.
So we'll be here to talk all about it and other trades. Obviously, the only trade everyone's talking about is Giannis, but there'll probably be more moves. Don't forget Armchairing every Wednesday with Bruce. He's in the chat. Bruce every Wednesday here just kills it every week by himself for an hour and goes into every sport you could think of. So Bruce every Wednesday. Also, Live Free, Laugh Hard, Chelsea Handler, Amy Schumer. We put the show up on Sunday. It is up 700 views already. I'm very impressed with that. I guess Amy Schumer got a lot of fans out there who hate us. So that's up now too. A lot happening here. As always, we're happy to be here. Jason, as always, thank you so much for doing the show with me. 9 years in, 10 years next year. Damn, we're old. On that note, for Jason, I'm Kahlil. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Trade deadline week on the Box Out. Peace.
This has been The Box Out with Kahlil Thomas and Jason Kortner. Subscribe now for the best tri-state area basketball talk.